Now batting for Team
All right,
Quebec.
all set.
Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec.
All right, friends,
The
welcome
Voltigeur,
to the
number 16,
2014
Mathieu
Senior
Roy.
Men's and Masters Championships right here from gorgeous Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Our opening game of the tournament, and this is Team Quebec versus Team Saskatchewan. Quebec Senior versus the Saskatoon Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are in the black uniforms. Quebec in the white. Saskatoon is the home team here. Pitch in there for a strike. This is Mathieu Roy leading things off for Quebec. So Mathieu Roy, Matt Greer, and Steve Savard here at the top of the first from sun-soaked Charlottetown. We are at Central Field Complex on Bella Lion Community 1. Thanks so much for being with us. On the mound is Kelly Lenius. Kelly Lenius on the mound. Or check that, Devin McCullough, sorry, batting first. Used to seeing the leadoff or the pitcher at the bottom of the order. He leads things off for Saskatchewan. Devin McCullough on the mound for Saskatoon. So Roy, Greer, Savard, and then Jonathan Roy, should anyone reach. Just getting started on an absolutely gorgeous day here in Charlottetown. Mathieu Roy out on strikes. So Roy out on strikes.
Now
and here's Matt Greer.
For Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec. The third baseman au troisième but, number 22, numéro 22, Matt Greer.
So here's Matt Greer, the third baseman, batting second in the order. And therefore a strike. Dealing in the early going here is Devin McCullough. Action all day long from both fields. We're here at Diamond 2, 11 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and 4 games scheduled over at Diamond 1, the main field. What a beautiful field that is. The main complex here in Charlottetown for these championships. Swinging strike. Out on strike is Greer. And there's Steve Savard.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec. The first baseman au premier but, number 42, numéro 42, Steve Savard.
I just realized we should have brought a baseball glove. Gonna have to get a mitt. Mind if it gets up and comes near the broadcast booth, it's gonna be full of sunshine anyways. The sun shining right in our broadcast area. It's just about 11 o'clock here in Charlottetown. That pitch in there for a strike. McCullough trying to get through a 1-2-3 inning. Rob Schweier will be pitching for Quebec. So again, we're just getting started. Quebec and Saskatoon. Another game coming up at 12 o'clock at Field 1. Just in there low. Up high. So working his way back into the count is Steve Savard. 2 strikeouts so far for Devin McCullough. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game time temperature about 24 degrees. Humidity around the high 20s. It is expected to get in the mid-30s today with your Humidex. Striking out is Savard. So 1-2-3 goes Quebec here in the top of the first. We'll go to the bottom of the first on the championship, Bella Lion Community 1. We'll be right back for you.
Team Quebec scored 0 runs on 0 hits. There were no errors and no left on base. L'équipe de Québec a marqué 0 points avec 0 coups sûrs. Il y avait 0 erreur et 0 à gauche sur le sentier. Softball Canada is pleased to present the Canadian Championships. Enjoy the best softball competition our country has to offer. A change to the lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Batting ninth now for Team Quebec will be the pitcher, number 34, Rob Schweier. Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the pitcher.
All right, so back
12,
to it here. Here
Devin
is
McCullough.
Devin McCullough. McCullough, the pitcher, just a 3-up, 3-down inning a few moments ago. And now he'll lead things off. McCullough, Clement Haga, and Pokoyaway coming up for Saskatoon. Trevor Ethier, should anyone reach. Potskin batting 5th. Colin Sean 6th. Jim Clement Haga 7th. Chad Starling 8th. And then Colby Beerley to round out the order. First pitch just off the plate for a ball. On the mound is Rob Schweier. So Schweier on the mound here. Trying to follow up a 3-up, 3-down from McCullough in there for his first strike of the tournament. Jonathan Waugh in left field. Matthew Waugh in center, or right field, or left field is Jonathan. In right field is Jean-Pierre Savard. So Waugh, and Savard going left to right in the outfield. McCleary forms the battery. There's our first hit of the tournament, and it is going and gone. Hello, Devin McCullough. The early lead for tournament MVP. 3-up, 3-down in the top of the first, and a solo shot blast here for McCullough to get Saskatoon rolling in their first game. A no-doubter to left center field. Give McCullough a home run, and
now
an RBI.
For Team Saskatchewan, the second baseman, number 19, Anthony Kleiman-Haga.
Mathieu Lassard is the shortstop. Matt Greer, the third baseman. Steve Savard in at first base. And Jaron Graham, your second baseman for Quebec. Big swing and strike here. This is Anthony Kleiman-Haga, second baseman. Brennan Pokoyaway to follow. So 1-0 nearly going for Saskatoon. Swinging and missing here is Kleiman-Haga. Trevor Ethier, we'll see him now as well, the DP. Fouled away out of play. This is Dwayne O'Quinn. Dwayne O'Quinn on the email. Thank you very much. Great stuff. So great stuff. Dwayne O'Quinn, glad you're enjoying the coverage. Last week coined the phrase, the Bella Lion call to the bullpen. Thanks very much, Dwayne O'Quinn, our first email. That is in there for a strike. Crowd keeps filtering in. This place has really started to pick up here just in the last 5 minutes. A lot of folks making their way over. Check out this first game of the day. Fouled away and into the field on the other side. We got here about 10 a.m. and this place just became a beehive of activity. Getting ready for the championships. Opening day from the tournament on a gorgeous afternoon in Charlottetown. Chopper to second base. Gets through Graham and Lassard, and into center field, quickly in by Waugh. And Clemenhaga at first base with a single. So 2 up, 2 on here. A home run for McCullough and Clemenhaga at first base. And here's Brendan Pokoyaway.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the shortstop.
Pokoyaway, the shortstop.
Pokoyaway.
This is Brad McCullum. Thanks very much, Brad. Checking in on Twitter. Pumped to be watching from Truro. Great to have you guys with us there in Truro, home at the TAC Grounds, one of the great ballparks in Atlantic Canada. An awesome place to do a game. And the Truro Bearcats, they are off to the Nova Scotia Senior Baseball League playoffs. 5 months after nearly folding, they got that program together. And it's good times in Truro with the Bearcats Nova Scotia Senior League program. Fouled away. First look at Pokoyaway. Trevor Ethier will follow, and Jessen Potskin. We are right behind the backstop here. So hopefully not providing too much distraction for the players as they're digging in. That is low and outside. And the sun is coming down. A cooker here in Charlottetown. Here comes Schweier. Hit to center field, and that is deep. Going back is Waugh, and that's gone. A 2-run shot for Pokoyaway. To left center. It is 3-0. Domination so far for the Saskatoon Diamondbacks. A solo shot, a single, and a 2-run shot for Pokoyaway.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the designated player, number 17, Trevor Ethier.
So heads up, the Saskatoon Diamondbacks have arrived in Charlottetown. Here's Trevor Ethier. He's the designated player, first pitch swinging for a strike. The 0-1. Couldn't hold back, could Ethier. Potskin to follow, and now we'll see Colin Sean as well. This is the 4th man to come to the plate in the inning. Hot shot to short, nicely done by Lassard. And there's the first out of the inning. Lassard to Savard, and Ethier out 6-3. Jessen Potskin.
Playing in the outfield, number 16, Jessen Potskin.
He's the center fielder. Batting from the left side, wearing number 16. First pitch in there for a strike. It is dry in Charlottetown. They might get some rain this weekend, but they're on a dry stretch right now, unlike most of Atlantic Canada. High into the air and fouled behind the backstop. So you're going to see a lot of dust kicking around. Maybe some tough hops on a very hard infield. The 0-2. Swinging and missing is Potskin. So Schweier trying to settle down here. Could get out of this with very limited damage.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the first baseman, number 37, Colin Shan.
Colin Sean up here, the first baseman. Hello out there to Softball Quebec. Thanks very much. Checking in with us on the Twitter. And for a strike. And that's going to get past Lassard up the middle, out to Waugh in center field. Gives Sean a solid single. So a solid knock for Colin Sean. And here's Jim Clemenhaga.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the catcher, number 39, Jim Clemenhaga.
Softball Quebec in on the Twitter. You're very welcome, and thank you for the follow. And contact information on the screen. Hope to hear from everybody throughout the weekend. Settle in. We're going all the way to Championship Sunday. Chris Abbott just about to get ready. He's about a half hour away over there at the Central Field Complex. Six games on the day. 11-7 here from Field 2. $12, 4:30, 6:30, I think 8:30 your game time is over there at the main complex. Going to have a fun night tonight on opening night. Of course, some news coming in. The Three Cheers Pub, their flight was delayed. So friends of you guys who have on your schedule, that 2 o'clock game will be played tomorrow morning at 10. So if you're looking forward to a 2 o'clock game on your schedule with the defending champs, the Three Cheers Pub, that is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Two outs in the inning, a runner at first. Schweier trying to get out of it. Right back to Schweier to second, nicely done. So Schweier not messing around, takes the lead runner at second base. Clemenhaga. The final out of the inning. But Quebec, or Saskatoon, sorry, sends 7 men to the plate.
Team Saskatchewan
they get three runs
on 4 hits.
On 4 hits.
There were no errors and 1 left on base.
1 left on base, no errors for Saskatchewan. So Team Quebec will try to respond.
The game by a score of 3-0. Après une manche de complète, l'équipe de Saskatchewan mène 3-0.
You can hear the PA in the broadcast. We are pretty much right beside the speaker. Scott Squires checking in on Twitter. Thank you very much, Scott. Speaking of Truro, one of the great sports broadcasters in Atlantic, Canada, calls Truro home. Jonathan Waugh, Jean-Pierre Savard, and Joe McCleary coming up with Mathieu Lessard, should anyone reach. You're on Bell Alliant Community One, your leader in local sports webcasting in Atlantic, Canada. Make sure you join us for the 3rd season of Inside the AUS. Just about 3 weeks away from the start of the 3rd season of Inside. Your in-depth look at the administrators, fans, coaches, and players of Atlantic University sport. Inside the AUS is available on demand on your fiber optic TV package and, of course, at bellalliant.net/community1. Inside the AUS, Bell Alliant Community One's top-ranked show. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. Of course, our partnership with the AUS continues in terms of the website AUS TV. Make sure you bookmark that on your browser, AUS TV. Presented by the fine folks of Budweiser and powered by Bell Alliant Community One.
Joran Graham.
The home of every single AUS webcast, whether it be exhibition, regular season, or the Subway Championships on AUS TV. All right, let's start the top of our 2nd inning from the championships. Jonathan Waugh, the left fielder, to get things started. Going from left to right, your outfield for Saskatoon, Starling, Potskin, and Starling. Beerley, the 3rd baseman. Pokoyaway, the shortstop. Clemenhaga at 2nd. Sean, the 1st baseman. And Jim Clemenhaga forms the battery with Devin McCullough, who has been dealing so far. Struck out the side in the 1st, came up and hit a solo shot home run. First batter to put contact on it, a little duck snort to shortstop, no problem for Pokoyaway.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec.
So Waugh flies out to the shortstop.
Number 11, numéro 11, Jonathan Roy.
And the Brookfield Elks checking in. Great to have you guys with us. The Brookfield U18 Elks, we saw them in Gander 3 weeks ago now at the U18 Championships. The Elks had a great run at the championships in Gander. Great to have all you guys with us watching this one on the Twitter. In there for a ball. And you Brookfield Elks would love to be here. We actually have sunshine in Charlottetown. There's another play for Pocoyoaway. Quickly done, 6-3. But for that tournament in Gander with the Elks, it was just 6 days of miserable weather.
Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec. The outfielder, le voltigeur, numéro 88, number 88, Jean-Pierre Savard.
Here in Charlottetown, it is absolutely gorgeous right now. One of the great softball areas in Atlantic Canada, Brookfield. In there for a strike. 0-1. Jean-Pierre Savard. In there for strike 3 to Jean-Pierre Savard. He'll sit down. The 4th strikeout of the game.
Team Quebec scored 0
so 4 strikeouts
hits,
so far
0 errors and 0
through
left on base.
2 innings. Devin
Devin
McCullough has not allowed a base runner. So Joran Graham pops out to shortstop. Jonathan Waugh grounds out to the shortstop. And Jean-Pierre Savard strikes out in the second inning.
For their continued support of the game of softball, as well as the athletes who take part in these prestigious events. And now, get in the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Contact information on the screen. Hope to hear from you throughout the game. Bell Alliant, with all our webcasts, we are live and interactive. Reach out to us, comments, opinions, feedback. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, shout-outs. Love it all. Any tidbits of information you have? All right there on the Twitter and the email on your screen. Chad Starling, Colby Beerley, Kelly Lenius.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the outfielder, number 24, Chad Starling.
Actually, check that back to the top of the order for McCullough after Starling. Starling batting from the left side. The big dude, the right fielder. We are in the bottom of the second. We have a chance here to fix this. Multitasking over here at field 2. Not my forte. There we go. Bottom of the second from field 2. Sticking the bunt on the outside for a ball. A nice count coming up here for Chad Starling. The 3-1. Swinging and missing. Took a big hack. But couldn't catch up to the high heat. The full count pitch. Just off the plate for ball 4. Leadoff man on for Saskatoon. 3 hits,
now batting
or
for
4
Team
hits so far
the third
for
baseman,
Saskatoon.
Number 10, Colby Beerley.
Saskatoon Diamondbacks. Nice bunt looking to sacrifice here by Beerley. And they'll get the out at first, but Beerley gets the sack bunt down. Talking to the mention that we had the Brookfield Elks on the Twitter, and that was the big thing. You're going to see a lot of differences at these levels.
Pitcher, number 12,
at that
Devin McCullough.
U18 tournament, a lot of the young fellows really struggle to get the sacrifice bunt down. More often than not, couldn't do it. And right there you see a situation where these older guys are able to get that done, no problem. Sacrifice made, and now here's Devin McCullough. And if you remember at the top of the first, McCullough went yard. A line drive home run over left center. Takes a big swing there and misses. McCullough, then Anthony Clemenhaga. Up high. 2 balls, 1 strike on McCullough. 3-0 in the bottom of the second for the Diamondbacks. Big swing there, misses again, 2-2. Striking out is Devin McCullough. So a measure of revenge here
now
for Schweier.
For Team Saskatchewan, the second baseman, number 19, Anthony Clemenhaga.
Strikes out McCullough. And there's Anthony Clemenhaga. Had a single back in the first and came home to score on the Pacoya home run. That is a high fly ball to left field. Playable out there for Waugh in foul ground. He makes the catch. Just what Quebec needed. 4 up, 3 outs. The only damage, a bunt and then a sacrifice, or a walk and then a sacrifice bunt. They will leave Chad Starling stranded at first. No hits, no runs, no errors. 1 left on.
Team Saskatchewan scored 0 runs on 0 hits. There were 0 errors and 1 left on base. L'équipe de Saskatchewan a marqué 0 points avec 0 coups sorts. Il y avait 0 erreur et 1 à gauche sur le sentier. At the end of 2 complete innings, Team Saskatchewan leads the game by a score of 3-0. Après 2 manches de complète, l'équipe de Saskatchewan mène 3-0.
So settle in. Again, we got a full day of Canadian fast pitch at the national championship level coming up. Going to the top of the third.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Au battant pour l'équipe de Québec, le catcher, le receveur, number 25, numéro 25, Joe McCleary.
McCleary, Lassard, and Thibault. Cleary wearing number 25, batting from the left side. He's the catcher. McCullough, his 3rd inning of work, has not allowed a base runner. In for a strike. Down low. Off the plate, 2-1. Of course, mention the heat. Saskatoon out there with those black uniforms. Can't be helping them out in this regard. Not a cloud in the sky in Charlottetown. That's going to be the first hit of the game. Finds the hole on the left side. Joe McCleary on board with a single the other way. So McCleary on board, and here's Lassard. Quebec trying to settle down.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Au battant pour l'équipe de Québec, the shortstop, l'arrêt court, Number 28, numéro 28, Mathieu Lessard.
Mathieu Lessard, the shortstop. And then Luc Thibault, the DP. And back to the top of the order. Looking to sacrifice. In there low for a ball. I'm going to go talk to Devin McCullough. Or 1-0. And they're low, 2-0. McCullough not happy with that call. He thought it was in there for a strike. And that's over the head of Lessard. He had to get down in a hurry. And now we'll see if he continues with the sacrifice. McCleary down at second on the pass ball. Three balls, no strikes. So Lessard was ready to give himself up. Now he can start to settle in. Look at a 3-0 count. That's in there for a strike. And now he's got a 3-1 with a runner in scoring position. Three 0 for Saskatchewan over Quebec. Up high. Down to first will go Lessard.
For Team Quebec. Maintenant au bâton pour l'équipe de Québec. Le pitcher, le lanceur, number 34, numéro 34, Rob Schweier.
So here's Rob Schweier. Maybe looking to get a measure of revenge against Devin McCullough. McCullough took him yard back in the first. The bunt down, very nicely done. Out at first, but the pitcher gets the sack bunt down.
Now batting for Team Quebec, au battant pour l'équipe de Québec, the outfielder, le voltigeur, number 16, numéro 16, Mathieu Roy.
So runners go to third and second. McCleary at third, Lessard at second. Here's Matt Waugh. With Matt Greer to follow. Mathieu struck out looking back in the first. It's the guy Chris Abbott was telling me before the game, one of the best players in Canada. Right here, your leadoff man. Mathieu Waugh, right in there on home plate. Looks at the first pitch ball. Standing up out there at the plate, Waugh certainly looks the part. The 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. So at third is McCleary. At second is Lessard. Schweier the sacrifice bunt. And here's Waugh. In there for a strike. Now Waugh, frustrated he didn't maybe offer at that pitch. Struck out looking once. You know, a guy like this wants to get a ball in play. Devin McCullough has 4 strikeouts so far. Here comes McCullough. And did he go? No, held off. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mathieu Waugh, the center fielder. Quebec doing a great job of really getting back into this game. Again, it looked like it could be a lot of trouble in the early going. But they got themselves right back in this thing. That is low. 3-2. First base is open. Heart of the order coming up with Greer, Savard, and Waugh. Here comes your full count pitch. Off the plate and close. Waugh will walk to first.
Quebec, au bâton pour l'équipe de Québec. The third baseman, au troisième but, number 22, numéro 22, Matt Greer.
The bases are loaded for Matt Greer. Greer struck out swinging back in the first. That gets past. Dead ball. Hit the foot of Greer. So the first run comes home for Quebec. Greer's going to walk that off to first base. Did not tickle.
Now batting for Team Quebec, au bâton pour l'équipe de Québec. Playing first base, au premier but, number 42, numéro 42, Steve Savard.
So Quebec is on the board. They get their first run. Moved Lessard to third. Waugh to second. Put Greer on with the hit by pitch. And now here's Steve Savard. Steve struck out in the first. Up high. So Quebec has pushed back here. A single away from tying this game in their fourth strike. The 1-1. Down low, 2-1. The 2-1 with the bases loaded. Swung on and fouled over the next field. 2-2. Lessard at third, Waugh at second, Greer at first. On deck is Steve Savard. The top of the third. 7 innings, mercy rule of 7 in the fifth. Swinging at a high pitch is Greer. Or Savard, sorry.
Now batting for Team Quebec, au bâton pour l'équipe de Québec, the second baseman au deuxième but, number 15, numéro 15, Joran Graham.
So Savard out on strikes for the second time. And here's Joran Graham. Joran popped out to the shortstop in his first at bat. Second run is going to come home on a pass ball, or the first one was a hit by pitch. So Lessard comes home to score. And Quebec now has got this down to a 1-run game. Runners will move to third and second. So slide Greer to second, Waugh to third. That is in the dirt, and a great pick there by Clemenhaga. That would have been the tying run. Go-ahead run at second base in the form of Matt Greer. High into center. Potskin settles under it and makes the easy catch. So Waugh flies out to center, but Quebec has pushed back. 2 runs come across.
Team Quebec scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 0 errors and 2 left on base. L'équipe de
2
Québec a
runs,
marqué
1
2
hit,
points avec
2
un
left on
coup sort.
base.
Il y avait
No
0
errors
erreurs et 2 à gauche de la sentier.
for Quebec.
Worth, the leader in softballs and performance softball bats, is proud to be the official softball of the Fastpitch and Slow Pitch Canadian Championships, as well as the official ball of the Canadian national teams. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that food and beverage concessions are available right behind central field number 2 along the third baseline of the first field, as well as souvenir clothing for the national championships. Hoodies are $35, performance tees are $20, and hats are $20. There will be no sale on the clothing at the end of the tournament, as the clothing is printed as required.
Big shout out here to Delsey, Saskatchewan, or Delisle, Saskatchewan. This is TMS Shirley. Shirley, I can't remember if we talked to you in Gander at the U18s or if it was in Halifax for the 21U. But great to have you back with us. This is TMS Shirley reaching out on Twitter. Great to have you back with us, and glad you're up in the morning there in Saskatoon, or Delisle, I should say.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan.
And watching the Diamondbacks.
The shortstop, number 4, Brennan Pokoyowe.
Now the Diamondbacks will go back to work in the bottom of the third in a 3-2 game. And after 3 batters in the bottom of the first, this looked like it could be a lot of trouble for Quebec. But they really settled down nicely, have put a couple of runs, and in our first game of the tournament, we got ourselves a good one. Down the left field line, and giving the chase over there, but just running out of room was Waugh. Pokoyowe, Ethier, and Potskin all coming up for Saskatchewan. Colin, Sean, should anyone reach. Pokoyowe, if you remember, had that 2-run home run in the first. A 2-run blast. In the dirt. High to left field. Out there is Waugh. He'll make the catch. So Pokoyowe out to left field. He's 1 for 2.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the designated player, number 17, Trevor Ethier.
So here's Ethier. He struck, or he grounded out to shortstop in the first. The sun is right over top of left field, shining in towards the first baseline right now. So the right side of the infield is going to have that sun in their eyes. Maybe the right fielder as well. Catcher on a pop-up. But that's where it's at right now, just out there above the left fielder. Hot shot. That's going to find the hole on the left side. So Ethier on board with his first hit of the tournament. A solid single.
Now batting
to
for
left
Team
field.
Saskatchewan, the outfielder, number 16, Jessen Potskin.
Well, 11:43 here in Charlottetown. They're just about 15 minutes away from getting started at Central Field 1. With Chris Abbott, you can find that action. Just all the games right on your right-hand side of the viewer. Just click watch, and you go back and forth from Field 1 to Field 2. Put up both browsers at the same time if you want, and what a lot of folks do, they get the old HDMI cord, they hook the computer up to their TV, and throw it on the big screen. And it looks spectacular. 2-0. So Ethier, the go-ahead run at second base. Swung on over the head of the center fielder, Waugh, off the wall. Coming around third to score will be Ethier. Chugging for third and sliding in safely is Potskin. A triple and an RBI.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, playing first base, number 37, Colin Shan.
So here's Colin Shan. Singled back in the first and was forced out at second to end the inning on a hit back to the pitcher. So an RBI triple for Jason Potskin. Hustling all the way. Just got over the head of Waugh. High into the air and foul out of play. Heads up over there at the, man, they got the, where folks get their tickets to get into the park. Might be taking a softball off the head as they're getting their ticket. Welcome to the park. But on that play, I was going to say I pulled a Brett Musburger and made the call too soon. Matthew Waugh nearly caught that ball, just getting over his head. Of course, he's the outstanding center fielder. Swinging over the top, 2 strikes now on Colin Shan. Jim Clemenhaga would follow. And Chad Starley, should anyone reach. Bouncing to second. And that'll be an easy 4-3, but the run comes home. So Sean, give him the RBI. Bouncing ball the other way.
The catcher, number 39, Jim Clemenhaga.
Scoring Potskin, the bases are empty. Here's Jim Clemenhaga. Jim grounded out to the pitcher. And on the play, Schweier took the force at second and the inning. Just outside, ball 1. Clemenhaga batting from the left side, the big catcher. The 1-0. And therefore a strike, 1-1. Not much wind to speak of, friends. Maybe 10 kilometers blowing from right to left. High chopping ball, Lessard, nicely done. So, Saskatoon sends 5 men to the plate.
Thank you, sir.
Get 2 hits, 2 runs. There were no errors and none left on base. We will go to, add that run there, sorry.
Team Saskatchewan scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and no left on base.
We'll go to the top of the 4th in a 5-2 game for Saskatchewan.
At the end of 3 complete innings, Team Saskatchewan leads the game by
as mentioned, they're coming up
Après 3
momentarily
manches
from
l'équipe de Saskatchewan
Field
mène
1 with Chris Abbott.
5-2.
Sorry, friends, the sun is shining right on my monitor. I'm trying to find
Now batting for Team Quebec.
my
Au battement
mouse.
pour l'équipe de Québec.
There it
The
is.
outfielder, le voltigeur, number 11,
This is it,
numéro
yeah.
11, Jonathan Roy.
Yes, TMS Shirley in Saskatchewan was watching her son in Fredericton for the U16 and the twin girls in BC at U16. What a great email that or tweet that was from Shirley in Saskatchewan. Her son was playing with us in Gander at the U18s. The other son playing in Fredericton with Eric Moffat and Roger Charette. They had the games as well on Community One. And while she was watching it, her twin girls in BC playing at the U16. So how's that? That is a Fastpitch family. And what a proud mom, eh? You got the son playing
Now
in Gander,
Quebec,
the son playing in Fredericton, and the double or the twins playing
number 88, numéro 88,
in
Jean-Pierre
BC.
Savard.
So that was Jean-Pierre Savard. Or here's Jean-Pierre Savard. Jonathan Waugh. Grounded out to the shortstop. And here's Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre struck out back in the second. So again, thanks for being with us, Shirley. And what a great Fastpitch family that is. Top of the fourth, 5-2. Jean-Pierre Savard and Joe McCleary. And there for a strike. Swinging and missing is Savard. 2 strikes now on Savard. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jean-Pierre, the right fielder. So the 3-run lead restored for Saskatchewan here in the top of the fourth. Holds back on it, and we'll go to a full count. Big Joe McCleary to follow. Swinging and missing is Savard. That's his second strikeout of the game.
Now batting for Team Quebec, au bâton pour l'équipe de Québec, the catcher, le receveur, number 25, numéro 25, Joe McCleary.
There's Joe McCleary. Joe got things started back in the third, had a single, and came around and scored. In that inning, the third, Quebec sent 7 men to the plate, but could only get the 2 runs. Way out in front. And they never really had that big hit to bring guys around. 1 run scored on the hit batter with the bases loaded, and the other one on a pass ball. McCullough out there for his 4th inning and swinging up high and missing. And that'll do it for Quebec. McCleary out on strikes. 3 up, 3 down. So now Devin McCullough starting to settle down after he got touched up a bit in the third.
Team Quebec scored 0 runs on 0 hits. There were 0 errors and 0 left on base. L'équipe de Québec a marqué 0 points avec 0 coups sorts. Il y avait 0 erreurs et 0 à gauche sur le sentier. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think umpiring softball will be fun, you are right. Not only does umpiring offer fantastic personal rewards, but umpires, they do have the best view of the game, guaranteed. Visit www.softball.ca or contact your provincial or territorial association to learn more about becoming an umpire.
Good grief. Shirley reaching out on Twitter. Her nephew on second base. Andrew Clemenhaga. And brother-in-law behind the plate, Anthony Clemenhaga. So the Clemenhaga boys related to Shirley as well. I think the Fastpitch runs in the blood in that family. Coach Bully, thank you very much for reaching out. Again, Devin McCullough, that we just saw there pitch for Saskatoon, is pitching for the Diamondbacks. And Rob Schweier, the pitcher for Quebec. Rob out there for his 4th inning. So far, McCullough has allowed the 2 runs on just 1 hit. Schweier has allowed 5 runs
a bit of a change
on
here,
6
ladies
hits.
and gentlemen, on Team Quebec. It's not a change in personnel, but a change in jersey number. Jordan Graham is now wearing number 23.
Jordan Graham, the second baseman, now wearing number 23.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the outfielder, number 24, Chad Starling.
Here's big Chad Starling. Got a walk back in the second. So back to work goes Saskatoon. They'll be looking to add to a 5-2 lead. Rob Schweier, the onus on him to keep them right where they're at. A bouncing ball down to first. Playable for Savard. Nicely done. Here's
now
Colby Beerley.
Team Saskatchewan, the third baseman, number 10, Colby Beerley.
Colby. Had the sacrifice bunt back in the second inning. Down low. Back to the top of the order for Devin McCullough after Beerley. Swung on and way out in front and fouled down the third base side. This is from a friend in UNB Fredericton. No name on this, but just talking about how great it is to see these events in PEI and what it can do for the city this week. And great to be watching the stream from Ontario. So thanks very much having you in on the email and watching from Ontario. That pitch is high and outside. The 2-2. 2-1, check that. There's your 2-2. Chris Abbott getting ready to go over at field number 1. The crowd continuing to file in over for that game at 12. Shot to Lessard at short. Nicely done by the shortstop. Beerley out 6-3. We'll go to the top of the order.
Now
with
batting
McCullough.
for Team Saskatchewan, the pitcher, number 12, Devin McCullough.
So here's McCullough. Devin, of course, led off the game for Saskatoon in the bottom of the first with a solo shot home run. Looks at the pitch high, and then it struck out his next at bat. Down low, 2-0. To short, should be no problem for Lessard. It isn't. And Lessard makes the play on McCullough. He's 1 for 3. And we'll go to the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, none left on base, no errors for Saskatoon. You're watching the 2014 championships from Charlottetown, the Canadian Men's and Senior and Masters Fastpitch Championships from gorgeous Charlottetown, PEI. On Bell Alliant, your
Team
Community
Saskatchewan
1 leader
scored 0 runs
in
on
Atlantic
0
Canada.
hits. There were no errors and 0 left on base. Le Saskatchewan a marqué 0 points avec 0 coups sorts. Il y avait 0 erreurs et 0 à gauche sur le sentier. At the end of 4 complete innings, Team Saskatchewan leads the game by a score of 5-2. Après 4 manches complètes, l'équipe du Saskatchewan mène 5-2.
Got that great email from a friend in Ontario talking about how this is such a great event for Charlottetown and the economic impact it should have on the city this week. And what a great place to be in the summertime. We were talking about it during the Canadian Senior Men's Baseball Championships in St. John's. But just no other place you want to be right now than Charlottetown, PEI. The last week of summer, Labor Day coming up this weekend.
Now batting for Team Quebec, au battant pour l'équipe de Québec, the shortstop, l'arrêt court, number 28, numéro 28, Mathieu Lessard.
One of the places to be in the summertime. Here's Mathieu Lessard. Luc Thibault, or Lessard, Schweier, and then back to the top of the order. Lessard walked, came home and scored in that third inning. Devin McCullough out there for his 5th inning of work. Only 1 hit so allowed so far by McCullough. Yeah, the 2 walks and a hit batter back in the 3rd inning. Out on strikes is Lassard. That's the 3rd strikeout in a row for McCullough.
Pour l'équipe de Québec, the pitcher, le lanceur, number 34, numéro 34, Rob Schweier.
And McCullough now has 8 strikeouts for the game. There's Rob Schweier. Had a sacrifice bunt and a beauty back of the 3rd. Number 9 hitter in the lineup. Really helped himself out from that pitcher spot with that sacrifice bunt. In there for a strike, 1-1. They're underway at Central Field 1, the 12 o'clock game underway there right beside us. Swinging and missing is Schweier. At noon in Charlottetown. And a swing at a high pitch and missing is Schweier.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec. The outfielder, le voltigeur, number 16, numéro 16, Mathieu Roy.
9 strikeouts for McCullough. 4 in a row. And here's Mathieu Roy. Roy walked and was stranded at 3rd in his last at bat. He's 0 for 2. Struck out back in the 1st. Holds back on the bunt. Pitch comes in low for a first pitch ball. 1-0. Gets the bunt down, and it's a beauty, and easily safe at first is Mathieu Roy. There's that speed that Chris Abbott was talking about with his Mathieu Roy. So put him at first with a single. That's the 2nd hit.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec. Playing 3rd base, le 3e but, number 22, numéro 22, Matt Greer.
There's Matt Greer. Matt struck out in the 1st and was hit by a pitch. So we'll see if Roy tries to work his way around the bags here. He looked like he was going to go, holds off. You can see the dust just come flying across the infield on nearly every play. Again, it is a really dry field here today. And still kicking up and going into the face of the batter, Matt Greer. In for a ball. 1-1. Bouncing ball, that is a foul. And that's a tough break for Saskatoon down there with the first baseman, Sean. He thought he had the exit out to get back to the bats, but called foul. And they'll have to do it again. The 1-2, and swinging and missing. And Roy slides in safely to 2nd, but he looks a little hurt. My apologies, that was the 1-1. 2 strikes now on Greer. And Roy down it's behind 2nd base trying to shake that off. I don't know if that was so much sliding wrong, but again, just this infield that he might have a couple raspberries down there after that slide. Talking to him about it with the shortstop, just pointing. I think he just got a good old scrape on the slide. Not a lot of nice sand down there to cushion the slides. There's your strike 3 pitch from McCullough. He strikes out the side. A bunt single in between. Stranded at second is Matt Waugh. 10 strikeouts now for Devin McCullough. 1 hit, no runs, 1 left on. No errors.
Team Quebec scored 0 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base. L'équipe de Québec a marqué 0 points avec une coupure. Il y avait 0 erreur et une gauche sur la sentier. The Tim Hortons Learn to Play program is an outstanding way
So
to
far,
introduce the
McCullough
sport of softball to children.
through 5
By
innings,
offering
10
coaches
strikeouts,
easy-to-follow lesson plans,
2
learn
hits,
to play,
3
allows
walks,
children of all skill levels
and 2
to explore
runs.
the sport of softball. For more information about the Tim Hortons Learn to Play program, visit www.softball.ca or contact your provincial or territorial association.
We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Saskatoon looking to build on the lead. And out there for his 5th inning is Schweier.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the second baseman, number 19, Anthony Kleiman-Haga.
So here's Kleiman-Haga. Fouling that off to the backstop. 0-1. The 0-1 fouled away and across the street. A couple girls over there on the field nearly get taken out. They thought that would have been a bomb coming in the way they scattered on a pop fly. 0-2. And they're called strike 3. On Kleiman-Haga.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the shortstop, number 4, Brennan Pokoyowe.
There's Pokoyowe. Hot shot that's going to find the hole on the left side. Pokoyowe on. He's now 2 for 3. Had the single, or the 2-run blast. And now the single.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the designated player, number 17, Trevor Ethier.
So Pokoyowe at first, and here's Trevor Ethier. In there for a ball. 1-0. Just off the plate. 2-0. In there for a strike, 2-1. Throw down, and getting back in safely is Pokoyowe. The 2-1. Gets away. Actually, ball 4, and Pokoyowe will go down to second. Ethier to first. So Ethier at first, Pokoyowe at second. They're underway over
now batting
at the central field.
The outfielder, number 16, Jessen Potskin.
It's the Fawcett's, the host team here, against the BC Loggers.
Now running for Team Saskatchewan at first base, number 8, Kelly Lenius.
So Kelly Lenius will go in and bat, or to run here for Trevor Ethier. So Lenius at first, running for Ethier. At second is Pakoyaway. And here's Justin Potskin. Justin had an RBI triple back in the third. Struck out in the first. Runners at second and first. That's on the outside portion for strike one. One out in the inning. Pakoyaway at second. Lenius at first. Here comes Schweier to Potskin. Out in front. 2 strikes now on Jessen. A 5-2 game in the bottom of the 5th. Inside. Two balls, 2 strikes. And that will get through to left field. Will they send Pakoyaway? They will. Coming home, and he'll stand up with a 6th run. So Potskin, his second RBI. He's now 2 for 3. Put him at first base. Ethier
now
at
batting
second.
For Team Saskatchewan, the first baseman, number 37, Colin Shan.
So Pakoyaway scores. Lenius goes to second. Potskin at first. And here's Colin Shawn. In for a strike, 0-1. Six to 2. Bouncing ball, just around home plate. That'll be a foul. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. In for a ball. Still not much, though, and blowing inwards from the outfield. As mentioned, not a cloud in the sky on a gorgeous early afternoon in Charlottetown. Chopper to second. The tag at second, double play. Beautiful play there by the second baseman, Graham. Catches the ball, touches out Potskin, and then throws to first to get Sean. So a double play to end the inning, but 1 run does come across.
Saskatchewan scored 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 1 was left on base. L'équipe de Saskatchewan a marqué 1 point avec 2 coupes sur. Il y avait 0 erreur et 1 à gauche sur la sentier. At the end of 5 complete innings, Team Saskatchewan leads the game by a score of 6-2. Après 5 manches complètes, l'équipe de Saskatchewan mène 6-2.
So we go to the top of the 6th. A 6-2 game for Saskatchewan. Through 5 innings, Schweier has allowed 8 hits and 6 runs. He struck out 3. Here comes McCullough. Again, he's dealing right now. Only 2 hits allowed, 10 strikeouts. He's allowed 3 walks.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec. The first baseman au premier but, number 42, numéro 42, Steve Savard.
Savard, Graham, and Waugh coming up. Here is Steve. He's had a rough day so far, 2 strikeouts. The host team, the Fawcett's, and the BC Loggers playing over in Field 1. That is Loggers, Loggers, not the beer. Speaking of which, if you come out to the fields in your local area, make sure you go to the Moose Light beer tent. Lots of Moose Light and Moosehead Lager to be had. The great beer tents we've seen this summer. Fouled off. Time running out for Quebec. Trying to get their heads around Devin McCullough. And there for a strike. Remember, contact information on the screen. Hope to hear from you throughout the weekend on the Twitter and on the email. Fouled away and out of play over the backstop on the Twitter and the email. Using the hashtag Community1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chopper, that's going to be a tough play. Pacoy away. He gets him. Great job by Pacoy away. That's shortstop to get
Now
Savard.
batting for Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe de Québec. The second baseman, au deuxième but, number 23, numéro 23, Joran Graham.
Joran Graham. And then Jonathan Watt. Jean-Pierre Savard, should anyone reach. In there for a strike. Well, off-speed pitch in there for a strike. 0-2. The 0-2. Up high. 1-2. McCullough has gone 5 1/3. Just off the plate, 2-2. Good eye up here by Graham, the second baseman. Popped out to the shortstop, flew out to center field. Strikes out here. 0 for 3 is Graham.
Now batting for Team Quebec. Maintenant battant pour l'équipe du Québec. The outfielder, le voltigeur, number 11, numéro 11, Jonathan Roy.
11 strikeouts so far. In there for a strike. 0-1. If you're just joining us, a solo shot by Devin McCullough in the first, a 2-run blast by Pacoy away shortly thereafter. Just fouled near the beer tent. I thought we were going to be okay over here. That one came a little close on the hot shot foul. Right to the first base side here in the bleachers. About 15 feet from home plate. Fouled off. Just missing us again. After the ricochet off the backstop. Swung on, and Pakoyaway is there. That'll do it for Quebec. They retire Waugh 6-3. So 1-2-3
Team
goes Quebec.
Scored 0 runs on 0 hits. There were no errors and no players left on base. L'équipe de Québec a marqué 0 points avec 0 coups sorts. Il y avait 0 erreur et 0 à gauche de sentier. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to learn how to pitch or improve the pitching skills you already have? Then Can Pitch is for you. Can Pitch is Softball Canada's national pitching program and comprises of 6 weeks of fun and innovative training by qualified Can Pitch instructors. Contact your provincial or territorial association for more information or visit www.softball.ca. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, there's lots of softball going on here at Central Field 2 and Central Field 1 throughout the day. Immediately following this game, we invite you to head over to Central Field 1, where the host team is currently taking on British Columbia.
So Rob Schweier will go out there for his 6th inning of work. And again, we'll try to keep Saskatoon right at 6. And then Quebec can try to mount a charge in their final at bat in the 7th. They'll need 4 runs at this point.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the catcher, number 39, Jim Clemenhaga.
Here's the brother-in-law of TMS Shirley watching in Delisle, Saskatchewan, Jim Clemenhaga. 0 for 2, grounded out to short in his last at bat. Pitch off the plate. Again, BC and the host team going on right now at Field 1. That 2 o'clock game on your schedule, that is going to be played tomorrow at 10 a.m. 4 o'clock for you Quebec fans. You're going to be back here at 4 o'clock Charlottetown time versus the Kelly's Pub of St. John's. So Kelly's Pub of St. John's versus Team Quebec at 4 o'clock. That's 3 o'clock for you guys in Quebec. 3-1. Just a gorgeous morning / afternoon in beautiful Charlottetown, PEI. And missing inside, Clemenhaga will go down to first base.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the outfielder, number 24, Chad Starling.
Gonna have a pinch runner. This is Pat Burns coming in. Pat Burns will come into first to run for Clemenhaga.
Now running for Team Saskatchewan at first base, number 14, Patrick Burns.
Patrick Burns, what a great name. Pat Burns. He'll be at first. In for a strike, 0-1 to Chad Starling. Chad walked and was stranded and grounded out to first. Big drink of water, looks like he's about 6'3". Fouls that one off. High into the air and over the backstop, and just missing a nice Honda truck down here, just in behind. One of the fun things about these tournaments with the 2 fields and all the cars is seeing where those foul balls are going to land. 2 strikes, reaching out for it to second. Graham has it and can't make the play. Couldn't get it to Lassard. So runners at second and first. Burns at second.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the third baseman, number 10, Colby Beerley.
Starling at first on the FC, and that'll be an E4. Colby Beerley in for a strike. Colby had a sacrifice bunt and grounded out to the shortstop. Just off the plate, 1-1. And actually, the breeze has really picked up. It was really hot here just about an hour ago, but very seasonably nice and warm here now from field 2. Winds are blowing from right to left. Here comes Schweier. In there for a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. A 6-2 game for Saskatoon. Chopped to short. Lessard couldn't handle it. A tough hop there for Lessard. And now the defense behind Schweier starting to fail him a little bit.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the pitcher, number 12, Devin McCullough.
Starling goes to second. Burns at third. Beerley at first on the E6. And now you start to worry about your mercy rule if you're a Quebec fan. The mercy run is at first base. And here's a guy, Devin McCullough, who went yard in his first at bat. He can end this game on one swing right now. Fouls that straight away. Straight back. Just got under it. The 0-1. Off-speed pitch down low. The 1-1. In there for a strike. One and 2 on McCullough. Fouled straight back and over to again the folks where they're getting their tickets. They've got the trailer right behind us where you get your tickets, and they didn't have the cover over the booth. That would have taken somebody right on the head. 2-2. Off speed, out in front, and that is playable for the catcher, McCleary. And that's a tough out for McCullough. Pops up, and now 1 out in the inning.
Now batting for Team Saskatchewan, the second baseman, number 19, Anthony Clemenhaga.
There's Anthony Clemenhaga. Singled and scored a run. Flew out to left field, struck out looking. Into left center, that will get down. Coming home is Burns, and being round is Starling. He will score. A 2 RBI single for Clemenhaga. Burns scores. Starling scores. And it's
now batting
8
for
to
Team
2.
Saskatchewan, the shortstop, number 4, Brennan Pokoyowe.
So 8 to 2, Saskatchewan leads Quebec. The mercy run is at second. Chopper, and that might do it. Played cleanly in right field, coming home and sliding in safely is Beerley, and that will do it. An RBI single for Pokoyowe. Mercy rule in effect. Beerley comes home to score to make it a 9-2 game. And the bottom of the 6th.
Team Saskatchewan scored 3 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors and 2 left on base. L'équipe de Saskatchewan a marqué 3 points avec 2 coups sûrs. Il y avait 2 erreurs et 2 à gauche sur le sentier.
3 runs.
At the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen, Team Saskatchewan has won by a score of 9-2.
And 2 hits. That'll do it. A 9-2 mercy game in the bottom of the 6th for Saskatoon.
C'est maintenant le temps de présenter les joueurs de match. Players are asked to pick up their prizes in the announcer's area immediately following the game. For Team Quebec, the Player of the Game award goes to number 25, numero 25, Joe McCleary.
Joe McCleary,
and
Player of the Game for Quebec.
Saskatchewan, the Player of the Game award goes to number 4, Brennan Pakoyewe.
Brennan Pakoyewe, no surprise there. 3 RBIs, 3 for 4.
A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that competition continues today at the 2014 Senior and Master Men's Fastpitch Championships over at Central Field number 1 right now. As I mentioned before, we have
so we'll head on over to the other field. Check that out.
On behalf of everyone here at the 2014 Senior and Master Men's Fastpitch Championships, we'd like to thank you for joining us here today, and drive safe. Un rappel que le Trône Noir se poursuit aujourd'hui au champ central numéro 1, où maintenant il y a l'équipe de host team et la Colombie-Britannique qui joue le jeu. Merci beaucoup, mesdames et messieurs.
All right, so that'll do it for us here at Field 2. We'll head over to Field 1 and watch Chris Abbott over there at Field 1 with the BC Loggers and the host team, the Faucets. You've been watching a presentation of Bell Alliant Community One, the leader in local sports webcasting in Atlantic, Canada. The 2014 Men's Senior and Masters Fastpitch Championships from beautiful Charlottetown, PEI. The final score in the first game of the tournament, Saskatoon, the Diamondbacks 9, Quebec 2. For you Quebec fans, you're back on the field with us at 4 o'clock. So we'll see you then over at field number 1. At 4 o'clock here, that's 3 o'clock for you guys in Quebec. Until then, goodbye from Charlottetown.